Hi BikeRumor fans, my name is Chris Sugai with Niner Bikes, and here to go over our new Jet RDO. And it's a Jet 9 made out of carbon fiber. We call it the R.D.O. model. It's a new moniker for us. Basically, our top-of-the-line products will all be called R.D.O., and R.D.O. stands for Race Day Optimize, and it kind of fits in with our three-letter naming system for all of our bikes. Some of the features of the new Jet 9 R.D.O. The Jet 9 aluminum version had 80 millimeters of travel, and this new model has 100 millimeters of rear travel. It's also compatible with 100 and 120 mil travel forks. The frame is carbon fiber. It's covered by our C5 carbon fiber warranty, so we cover the frame for a 5-year warranty. We also don't negate your warranty if you race the bike, so we expect people that buy these bikes they're going to race them. The frame is equipped with our CVA suspension system that we were recently awarded a U.S. patent for. We applied for the patent almost 4.5 years ago. Some of the main features with the Jet 9 R.D.O., the geometry's been optimized around 100 and 120 mil forks. So at 100 millimeters, we've kind of set it up to be a race enduro bike. At 120 mil, the bike gets a little bit more playful. The geometry slackens a little bit. The bottom bracket rises a little bit to give you better ground clearance. The frame is equipped with the new Fox Float Kashima shock, which is a big improvement with the slick coating. Gives you much better soft small bump compliance. The bottom bracket is a press fit BB30. Up front here, we basically have our magnesium head badge. The cables enter to the head badge here. You run them bare down to the bottom of the cage, and then they come out, and then the routing goes through the side as a full housing. So it keeps the cables nice and clean. It is easy to route the cables. There's a port at the bottom that's removable to get access to the cables. The frame utilizes Enduro Max bearings on all pivot points. And just like the outboard bearing technology, we put the bearings on the furthest most point on our bearing pivots so that they receive the least amount of load and function properly under load. The bottom bracket is a press fit BB30. The frame also comes equipped with titanium chain guards, which are a little difficult to see here with the crankset set up. With the CVA suspension system, the bike is compatible with 2x10 systems and 3x10 systems because the CVA suspension system has an instant center that's placed further out in front of the frame. The frame is neutral. It doesn't depend on being in a specific chainring for the suspension to actuate properly. Also, the system has almost no chain growth, so the system is very neutral while pedaling and also provides almost zero brake jack under hard braking. The system remains very active. And you know, while all manufacturers claim that their suspension systems are wonderful and do all these great things, you know, we really encourage people to go to our site and read the RIP and the WFO and the Jet 9 reviews. I believe we have over 30 reviews from magazines all over the world that have reviewed the suspension system and see what they actually say. We actually have reprints of the entire article, good and bad, saying about the bike. So, you know, we really believe that the third-party validation really validates what we've been saying all along about the suspension system, and we also have a U.S. patent now to prove that it is a unique suspension system in its own right. With the design of the frame, utilizing what's called a monocoque front triangle, we were able to save quite a bit of weight over the aluminum model. So basically, each size jet is about 1.5 pounds lighter than its counterpart in aluminum. We've also gained stiffness in the front and in the rear by utilizing the carbon fiber. The rear brake mounts are post mount, and it'll accept a 160 or 185 rear rotor. Up front on the swing arm, because we use carbon fiber, we're able to utilize a single-sided swing arm. It allows for a huge amount of mud clearance, tire clearance, and also derailleur clearance on the model. It also added quite a bit of stiffness to the rear triangle as well. Some of the small details that you won't notice, but are just hidden features of Niner are, on the aluminum jet, we had some wave washers down below here, and in the office we basically have a design philosophy called LP, which stands for less parts, less problems. And basically what we did was, since we're using carbon fiber and it's highly moldable, we actually molded the carbon fiber in the shape of the cone washers, and we were able to eliminate all of them from the bearing system. And it just makes for a simpler installation. There's less parts that can squeak or rub against each other, and doing bearing replacements makes it a little easier to do. But always thinking about the rider and maintenance and ease of care. One of the nice things with carbon fiber, because we're able to do custom molds for each frame, you'll notice on the small, medium, and extra large size frames, each of the tube shapes are different. So especially, it's most evident on the top tube, but if you compare a small frame to an extra large, you'll see a huge difference in the diameter of the top tubes. And we basically do this because, the expected rider weight of a small rider is going to be much less than someone who's riding an extra large frame, who's going to be in the 6'3" to 6'4" range. So you don't need to have a tube in as wide a diameter, and also it makes the tube stronger. On a smaller frame, if you had a wide tube, in order to get the same kind of tuned ride, you'd have to use very, very thin layers of carbon fiber, which would then make the frame more vulnerable to trail damage. So by thinning out the tubes, we can use the same amount of wraps, but it makes the tube stronger, and it also reduces the amount of wraps you have to use, obviously, because the diameter is smaller, so it keeps the weight down on the frames. And down below here, you can see we use the SRAM direct mount system for the front derailleur. Pricing on the frame is going to be $25.99, and we expect to start shipping these next week. So we're launching the frame, and we actually will have it available. And so get to your local bike shops and get a deposit down, or let them know you want to buy one. So hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for taking the time out to watch.